Be Like Elias.
We're live.
And where's Tony at?
Yeah, where is Tony at?
Tony
That's
was
what's.
gonna be here.
Yeah, he has a new AI thing. I got to talk to you after this because I think it's really dope. Yeah. So this is our kind of table of contents. We're going full raw marketing group, and then I'm passing the brain hat over to social content masters. So the areas of Instagram and their uses, mastering your profile page, using stories to nurture your audience, the powers of sliding into the DMs, DM marketing on IG, and then to check or not to check, right? Talking about the blue checks. And then social content masters content, we're going over the content structures, the 4 content pillars, researching content ideas and the tools and apps to use for that, structuring a reel from the secret sauce guide that we have, and activating your lead generation through your content. There's like some numbers that you can just hit every day that don't take too long. That'll start working today. And then I also give you guys the tools to win, right? So different apps, different softwares that I think you should just be aware of. If you've never heard them, then maybe look into them. They'll probably help you guys out a ton as well. So first off is understanding the off-platform buying flow. And by off-platform buying flow, what I mean is when somebody finds your profile and they're thinking of working with you, next click is going to be your link tree or the link in your bio. Then it's going to be the landing page that they land on. Then that has to be good enough to convert them probably. So if you need help with any of those things, then just come see me after this because it's very difficult to kind of dial in. But the link tree especially, want to have that super dialed in to get you the most conversion as possible when people come visit your profile. But for everything on platform and all the real estate that we have there, these are the core areas for your lead generation, right? Have you guys seen the lead funnel where they're like brand awareness, consideration, and conversions or sales at the bottom? It's the same thing here, right? Your reels and the content that you're making is your lead generation for you. It's going to create the traffic for you. And you're either getting organic views or you're getting people who are sharing your content. And then for your consideration, we have profiles and stories, right? The stories, you're going to be nurturing them via, BTS and different things that they're seeing behind the scenes. And then your profile is where your landing page is for your profile, your page. Everything that's on there is like something that somebody can look at and just make a snap decision on whether they're going to work with you or not, right? And then lastly, the conversions or where you're able to sell, other than just the link in your bio, using the DMs and the direct message system in order to talk to people, right? Taking them from a comment or a like into a conversation that is beneficial to the business, whether that is getting you more likes, more shares, or whether that's actually taking them off platform to buy from you, whether it's a service or e-commerce product. And let me know if I'm moving too fast. I got a lot of little content to go through, so I want to make sure we're solid to go. And then I do have some spots for Q&A as well. So if you have any questions, please write those down as well. So this is the profile mastery area, right? So if you scan this QR code, it's going to take you to a form. It's an AI compute that we have where you can fill out information about your business, and it'll email you a full prompt that you can put in the ChatGPT that'll give you a bunch of different variations on how to build the perfect profile. So it's going to ask you stuff about your business, who you're trying to target, things like that, things you should already know. And then it'll give you a few variations. You can keep generating it over and over and take the best lines to create it. But the main biography components are your social proofing or your why, right? It's pretty much 4 lines that you have that you can use. The first line for me, I typically put my social proofing or my why. A social proofing item is like, 10,000 hours, right? 1,000 customers served, right? X amount sold, or, whatever that needs to be to show people that you're viable in the space. Think about that and find that. Or your why, right? Something that people are passionate about, that you're passionate about, that you can put as the first thing, then do that. Next would be your audience and what you do to help them, right? I help people do this. I help this get this through this, right? That's pretty much it. And think you only have about 144 characters, so make these really tight. Next would be, how do people work with you or buy from you, right? So how do they work with you or buy from me, whether it's being, book a call with me, get some of my guides, get some of my classes, my courses, the main thing that you want them to know, and then just a call to action, right? Hit the link in my bio, send me a DM, DM me the word this and start the conversation today. These kinds of things you're going to want on the profile. So this is my profile here. I have, helping business owners grow through AI and marketing, pro marketing strategist, 8 figures in revenue earned for our clients, and then my links, my domain names, right? I ended up just buying breezefromraw.com because it just makes sense if my handle is Breeze from Raw and everything, right? So then breezefromraw.com is now the link that just takes everybody to my custom link tree that we do through Go High Level, right? So very easy there. The other things that you need to take hold of on the profile are your handle itself. Use your name generally, or something that you're known as, or your business name, right? Anything else, any numbers like, oh, this is Breeze 8751. Like, no, that's not going to help people to find you. You know what I mean? Put your business in there, something that's relevant to you in there. Your name and your keywords. So in this name title, if you put keywords that are related to your business, then people can find you when they're searching for that on Instagram. It's actually what they call an SEO tool that's used on the platform in order to index information. So put what you do in there. Next is the bio, which we went over, the links, which we went over. But your buttons, if I was looking at this profile from somebody else's side, you would have buttons here that are like, you know, email me. If you have a shop, you can have a shop button there. But by having those buttons, what it does is it pushes your follow button over top of those 3 buttons. So then you have a big old follow button that's blue all the way across versus the little small short one, right? And all that is putting in your contact information, your email, your phone number, stuff like that. And then your highlights. These, if you look up highlights in Canva, you can find little Canva covers for them and just spice them up. You know, make it relevant to your business, make it relevant to things that are behind the scenes for you, and people will just flick through those. But if you clean them up, then they look more unified, and it's just a way to give you a nice aesthetic to the profile. Then pinned reels. So one thing that I say, when it comes to all of this stuff, you control what people see on the platform. You control what people think about you on the platform. The new pins, right, that they have, you're pinning a profile to the top. So when they get to your profile, the first things that they see, you have control over. There's a lot of power in that. They also have pins in the comment. You can pin comments to the top. If it was like somebody who was relevant to you that was giving you shout outs, kudos on your post, you can pin that comment to the top. So that's the first one that people see when they scroll through. It allows the perception to be under your control, and perception is everything, especially online. So it gives you a more granular control. And then the profile aesthetic overall, do your videos look good? Do you have the cover images on those? Or do you have like snapshots from the video that are like appealing to the eye even? Then all of that will fit together and make a nice, pretty picture for your profile as a landing page. Next is the Instagram stories. Again, this is used to nurture your audience, right? So use all of the features that Instagram has given to you and allow them to learn more about you. Just from here, this screenshot, any of these tools, who here has posted Instagram stories before? Okay. So have you used any of these before?
Yeah.
Right. Maybe these top ones over here, right? Mentions probably, maybe a poll here and there. Try these all out. They work. Questions, avatars. I tried this one today. What was it? Cutouts. You can cut yourself out of a picture and then use you as a sticker and stick it on top, stick it on top of stuff. And then you can do little recordings as well. So it'll be like a 3 seconds. You could do you doing 5 seconds of the Macaulay Culkin slap face, right? And you could put that over top of a reel, and it just makes it more engaging and makes people laugh, and then it keeps them on it further, which allows the algorithm to see that people like it and shove more people in your face to see your stuff, right? So things you want to put on your story is personal things, vulnerable moments, and we'll go more about vulnerability in the content side of this, and then these kind of engagement boosting elements. Community-based content, right? So if you're out and about and you're talking to people or you're building a community, then capture some of that content because it just proves you're more viable in your space because you talk to more people and you help more people. Then promotional content. Like if you're not promoting your business, then it's kind of dumb. You're kind of doing it wrong. I know plenty of business owners, they'll have 20 little things on your story to click through and none of it is about their business. So it kind of, to me, shows me how important your business is to you. Right? Is it that important to you? Because if so, I thought I would see it on your personal profile or somewhere to be found, right? This is the content to DM framework. So very easy. You go in and you engage with somebody's content, like a few of their things, comment on some of their items, and then just leave something meaningful, leave something positive, right? Leave something insightful, right? If you're going to the audiences that you're most looking for, then you should be able to speak toward their pain if they're articulating that online, or speak toward, whatever they're posting about. Show insight and show that you're an expert, and that brings people to it. It's super easy to bring people from a comment straight to following you if you leave insight. Everything else is just like leaving breadcrumbs to bring them to you, right? So leave those meaningful thoughts, then send them a message, right? I send them a comment first saying to check your DMs because I'm gonna message you something. Then I send them a DM, and it's just showing positivity, right? Send them a compliment. I know it feels corny. I know it feels crazy, right? Sending somebody a compliment, but it could just be a compliment about their business. It could just be a compliment about their content that they're making, right? And then, show some appreciation for something. And then just conversate and move that conversation along. Eventually you can get into your business and just introduce them to it. But these conversations are no different than you texting a lead. They're no different from you talking to a lead on the phone. It's just another medium of communication. And I think that that's where we have the disconnect, right? We're like, oh, this is I'm on a DM right now. This conversation is not going anywhere. It's not business intentful because it's on Instagram, but it is. The intent is in the conversation. It's in what you present to them, not the platform. So don't get yourself out of that mentality. Just use it as another platform. Like if you were just texting a client, which if you're not, you should be comfortable in this day and age to text clients because they do appreciate it at times. You don't know somebody's preference on communication and you can't force it. Yeah. So very simple, 50 DMs a day, right? That it might seem like a lot, but this is something that can be done in just 30 minutes. You have a generic message that you kind of use. Hey, saw some of your content, love what you do, wanted to connect. Things like that, something small. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say F off. And that's fine. Either or. Just don't get emotional about the responses that you get. But if you get a lot of good responses and those turn into business for you, those also turn into loyal customers for you because you talk to them one-on-one versus them just finding you, right? So you're able to build that cult following behind your brand by doing things like this, right? And start with a number that's comfortable, right? It doesn't have to be 50. I would say, through the eyes of one of my mentors, just do one. Just commit to sending one message today. And then once you send that one, if you can send more, then great. Then tomorrow, do two, right? So, but if you could just say, man, I'm going to send one person that I think I would want to work with, preferably maybe even somebody who watches your stories, a message. Like if they watch your story every day, what are you scared of? Y'all looking at each other through a glass wall, just, so just send them a message. Just say, hey, just wanted to talk to you. This is my business. I wanted to see if you knew anything about this, how you feel about this, maybe get some feedback. There's a tons of different ways that you can go through the conversation. You can also ask ChatGPT to give you 500 different ways to start the conversation. And you're not going to be too far off. You can say anything. Hey, yeah, I was looking for somebody to sell a product. So I just want to send you a message and see if you'll let me practice. And it works. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten plenty of clients off of that as well, just to try it, just to show people, because I used to do sales. I would just show them just the different tips and tricks. You can make a sale off of anything if you could evoke enough emotion for them to conversate with you. And that's it. And by doing these numbers, you're only going to get better at it. If you don't do it and you don't get those reps in, you're just going to suck at it. But everybody's going to suck at it at first because you're starting from 0 to 1. But once you keep going, it's going to get really easy. Right. So to check or not to check, right? The blue check actually allows you to open up 35 to 45% more opens on your DMs because people see that check before they open the message or they open it in the message request. So if you are sending out a lot of messages, I think it costs $14.99 right now to get a blue check and just have the world open up to you as far as leads and people who are reading your messages. I think that's very important. Huh? Yeah, it's monthly. Yeah. Huh?
I don't have the blue check, but when you put it that way, if you're implementing the strategy, that's totally worth it.
It's like a no-brainer. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I could just unlock way more messages now. But
yeah, I like to do like math, right? If to kind of get me to do stuff like that. So if it's like 50 DMs a day, 5 times a week, you're already 1,000 DMs a month. So then the cost per DM for that monthly subscription becomes less than a cent. So it's like, for less than a cent, you can increase your potential conversion rate by having a check mark. But it only works if you actually send a ton of DMs.
Right. Yeah, and 1,000 DMs if you can't get one person to buy what you have in 1,000 DMs, and that's 1 month, and that's only 30 minutes a day that you're dedicating to it, man, you're maybe doing it wrong. You have a lot of data to work off of now. You know what I'm saying? So get better at it, but just change the messaging up. And then a lot of times, yeah, if you introduce your stuff to people and they're not buying like that, then that might be a problem with the offer as well. There might be a problem with your brand as well. There are the other things that we need to set up ahead of time to make all this stuff worth it. When they get to your website, does it even convert? Do they have the ability to navigate the website and know where they're going to find the information or not? Right? And a lot of times we love our website, but nobody else does, right? So get some feedback. If you're like, hey, is this easy to even navigate? Was it easy for you to find me? If you ask somebody where they found you and they were like on Instagram, then now you know. If they said they found your website and then they went and they booked with you, just ask them, okay, how was that process? Was it easy to navigate the website? No. Oh, damn. You know what I'm saying? Well, thank you for taking the time to like unpeel those layers and find the booking button for me. And, hopefully we can work together. But the easier it is, the more that this is all going to make sense. But you got to clean up every different stage as you do it. But if you're DMing, definitely do that. All right. So questions, any questions so far? Or comments so far?
It's dope. Love what you put it down.
All right, cool. So this part is like more abstract because this is the content creation side. So this is, raw marketing, passing the hat over to Social Content Masters, which is our social media production studio house, So we script, film, edit, and post all the content for brands. So we have to be in the trenches finding all this stuff every day and figuring out the best ways to create this content for different industries in order to reach that audience. So this is the main structure of your content online, right? There's stories, reels, carousels, images, comments, which, yes, is content online, right? So if your comments are out there and people can read it, then that's something that they're consuming, right? So that's another means of content structure. DMs, collabs, and lives, right? Collaborations, try to find people who are willing to collab. All of it is just like stitching content together. Maybe y'all have one topic that you want to go over, they talk about it, then you talk about it, and you stitch the video together and y'all collab it, and that's it. And it's very easy to do, right? Or you guys sit down actually together and like talk about something and get that piece of content out there, because it just helps both of those audiences to find one another. And contrary to what people believe, if you have two experts in the field, it makes you both look like better experts because you guys know even more experts than most experts know. Right? So it's like, it's a whole snowball that if you just find people who are open to collaborate, and right now they're sending notifications to you, like on the notification, it'll say usually this person is now open to collaborating because they now switched on the little toggle saying that they are. So if they're in an industry that makes sense for you, reach out to them. Hey, I saw that it said you were open to collaborating. Do you want to do a video together? If they say no, then they weren't, and you lied. And you shouldn't have toggled it on. You know what I mean? Tell them to toggle it off and keep it moving, right? But these are the different pieces of content that you want to think of. Now, Reels is the most important if you're trying to build a bigger and broader audience. But stories, again, nurture your audience. You'll nurture them. They're going to just watch it. We look at this every day. You see maybe 50 or 100 people who are just watching your story, and you just think maybe they're clicking through it. They're not. I think in our heads, we don't want to give us too much credit. We're like, oh, they were probably just tapping, and they and they went through all my little stories. No, they are interested in what you're doing and what's going on in your life, and they kind of want to keep up. So this is like the lowest level of interaction that they can give you, short of texting you or short of like calling you, right? They still want to show you that, okay, I'm still keeping in tune with what's going on. So like, feel free to reach out to them. Why not? What's stopping you from doing that? Even on platform, like just DM them through the platform. It's not a big deal. If you have their number, text them because they're thinking about you, right? And I know it might sound weird to think, but they are, even if for that fraction of a second. Okay.
No, it feels good to think about it.
Yeah. Feels good to know somebody's thinking about you. So these are the 4 content pillars. Most content falls in one of these different pillar areas, right? So educational content, business content, vulnerable content, which I mentioned before, or entertainment content, right? And then you can mix these and cross-pollinate them, make edutainment content, vulnerable business content, things like that, right? So in the education side, think of how-tos, problem-solving videos, teaching new skills, crafts, product reviews, right? Other people's products, of course, otherwise it's more business and promotional for yourself. Answer questions from your audience, share tips, tricks, things like that. These are very good, easy videos. You can just talk about it. You don't even have to do it on the video, you guys. Like, set up the camera, you cutting the onions and crying, and then just do a voiceover talking about it. And people will watch that because they love to watch something tactile. So you're meeting that. They love to listen to a voice talk about something that's relevant to them. And they love to feel like they're watching a candid, image or something. So set the camera up on a little corner, up against something. Trust me, it works, right? And people watching, and those numbers go insane all the time. You watch them, I watch them, right? You ever just been watching a video and the person's talking about something that they're not doing? Like, they're just on the computer and they're like, yeah, when I wake up in the morning, this and this and that, and all he's doing is being on the laptop. And then it's another shot of him getting in the car, and another shot of him. Like, all these things are just getting creative, right? Put your phone in the fridge and then open the fridge up. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff, once you do it a couple times, it becomes easier and it becomes less weird, less kind of corny, because sometimes it feels corny to us. Put your phone in the bag, put your phone in the purse, turn it on, reach in the purse. These different things, they work. So business content, what does your business have to offer? Why should they join your business in the first place or buy from you? Why is this different from the rest, right? What's your unique sales proposition? That's what we would call that. Showing your product or service, sharing testimonials, all very important. Vulnerable content. I love this stuff because this is where you're going to get your core audience from, your core following from. If they care about you and they care about the brand, and there's a super mega energy that just multiplies exponentially, in my opinion. So sharing things like why you started, your life updates, the things that are happening, again, that behind the scenes information, sharing when you started and where you are now, share inspiring, yes, share inspiring quotes or something uplifting to you that if it resonates with them, then you guys have now created a connection through the social media content. And then on the entertainment side, entertainment can be anything. So that's like super broad. So feel free, have fun. This is where you can kind of cut loose. But, travel, adventure blogs, shopping hauls, day in the life of vlogs, workout routines, fitness, relatable stuff to your audience and your niche. Going out on the town and recording that. And then jumping on the trendy reels, right? Using the hashtags, using the audios, recreating things that are already there in your industry. Just try it because it's pretty simple. Like there was one I just saw. It was they had this guy who was dressed in a little It costume, right? Pennywise, the clown, and then he's doing the little TikTok dances in that. And all the people are doing is them recording, looking at the screen and putting something on the screen, and all they do is turn to the side and go like this one time, and then the rest of it they just put the clip of the clown dancing. And it's like supposed to be just a meme, right? People say that you're a clown if you're still making social media content. And it's like, well, then I'll be a clown then, right? That's the whole concept behind the reel. And it takes you doing nothing but looking at the camera and then turn it to the side, and then it goes to the next clip. And it's a trending reel, and people see it, and it just makes people laugh. It made me laugh. I watched like 100 of them. I flipped through them things because I was like, what do people think? Even to me, it's important to know psychology for the marketing side of things. So what do people think are silly? What are the things that people think are clown behavior? Or what do people think that people think clown behavior? That's like even more layers deep. So I like to just see those types of things as well. Any questions on the content pillars? All right. And you guys can have these slides as well after this. So if you want them, let me know. I'll send them straight to you guys. I'll collect some emails and then send them to you guys. So how to research. This is super difficult, right? A lot of people are trying to figure out how to come up with the ideas for their social media. There is ChatGPT that you can utilize in order to come up with some ideas. But how can we get closer and closer to having our ear to the street, quote unquote, or the algorithm, right? Is the social media street. Viral Finder, they allow you 3 searches before, I think it's like $9 a month for it, but it can go into your industries, go into your keywords and find all the top pieces of content and the most viral pieces. And you can just grab those, put them all in an Excel sheet, and then you can try to recreate those in your own format. That's it. A lot of the content, you really don't have to do too much recreating on it, because it's relevant. If it's relevant, it's relevant. Stop trying to recreate fire and reinvent the wheel and all that kind of stuff, right? If you know how to do it, then and it's relevant to your audience, just redo that. It's not hurting anybody. One person can't help everybody, right? That's the same mentality that I have with marketing. I work with a lot of other digital marketers because I can't help everybody. And I'm not everybody's cup of tea, nor are they mine, right? So I want to be able to have a broader audience. One person is not going to get every person in the world to see this video on how to do something. So maybe if you put it out there, maybe you can help somebody else get an idea to make the same thing again, and we can spread good information, right? So don't get scared about recreating some of these ideas because you're just helping the same people. The most they're going to do is comment, like, you got this idea from somebody else. Yeah, so like, and what? You still don't make any money online, and I do. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's keep talking about it. Keep commenting as well, because the comments help me as well. Thank you so much. Right. So Viral Finder is a good one. For TikTok, if you go to the top right corner, hit the search bar, search keywords in and around your industry, and then just scroll through and see the numbers on the bottom that are big enough. Right. So look for 10K likes and above from that home screen. So that way you can just find the most viral pieces of content there. Next is Instagram. You go to the search bar, you search the keywords, and then this little bar here where it says accounts, audio, all that, you can swipe this little bar over and swipe it all the way to the right until you get to Reels and click Reels. So then that's going to show you all the Reels that are relevant. For some reason, mine is showing like this where it won't actually give me the numbers. So I have to like kind of click into it and see, is this actual, it's been known that to you too? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, damn, I can't even tell what they have anymore. They're trying to hide the views from us because they know we're using it to our benefit. So find some relevant pieces in there. And then last is Google. Google is just the best, right? The best search engine in the world. It gives us the most information. That's where most people go to find information. So you should go there and extrapolate the information. So what I did here was I typed in social media management, and then you scroll down until you find people also ask. And it shows you questions and inquiries that people are asking. These are just free topics for you to pick from. I can make a video on what social media management is. I can make a video on what does a social media manager actually do? How much should you pay a social media manager? What is management of using social media? That's kind of the same thing. But, you know, people are dumb and they kind of flip these things around. But if you click this bottom one and you keep clicking the bottom one, it'll load more. So you can get pretty much a never-ending list of questions that Google feels like are relevant to this keyword or this piece of information or this search. So try that out and then just grab some of those and put those topics in, and you can feed that straight into ChatGPT. It's going to give you the answers. And we also have prompts for that as well.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is Viral Finder like a page, or is that like
It's a website.
a website?
Yeah, so you just go to viralfinder.com, sign up for it. Again, they give you like 3 free searches, and then after which, I don't know exactly the numbers, but I think the next tier is like $9 or $9.99 or something a month. But these 3 are free. You know what I mean? So this one will give you the answer. This one will give you the content that you need to find the answer, right? More so. And that's how we do the research. And then we just put that on a spreadsheet. And what you're looking for are the pieces of content that have really good hooks, that have really good content, really good call to action. So finding the right hook is 50% of the game won. That's the most important thing. So what is a hook? The idea that people swipe in 3 seconds on social media, right? They see something, they give it about 3 seconds, and they swipe again. That's about the cadence. So in the first 3 seconds of your video, you need to have something that can catch their attention in order to keep them for the remainder of the video. So if you lose them in the first 3 seconds, right, the rest of the video is irrelevant. Even if it was 10 minutes long, it doesn't matter if nobody watched it because of that first 3 seconds. Therefore, to me, that's 50% of the battle right there. If I can get you to stay and watch it, then the algorithm can even tell this person stayed for 3 seconds longer than normal or whatever the case may be, and then send them your way and send more traffic to you based on that, right? So that's super important. And we do have a real guide that I can send to y'all as well. That'll be up here in QR form. And it's 200 plus reels that just work. Like you just insert your information there in the slot, and every time it just catches people's attention based on that. This is the real structure, the same thing, right? So I say this is about 50% on the hooks. the content or the body of it is about 25%. The call to action is about 10. The captions that you write, the verbal captions that it's with is about 10. And this last little sliver is just the settings, right? So when you get to that last screen before you click share, there's like, oh, topics, there's the audio, there's location even, and things like that that you're dialing in, making sure that you use as many of those as possible. That's like 5% of it as well to decide where it's being targeted to. So the hooks, most important, the 3 seconds I already explained. With the content, keep your content around the content pillars and find things that are already working. With new ideas, try to keep them as tight to the framework as possible, right? If our framework is the hooks, a couple bullets of things that are relevant and a call to action, then just think of the video that you're trying to make in those terms and then create the video like that. If you start just shooting off the hip, then it's not gonna be as good as you think, and you're gonna be like, damn, that was a terrible idea, right? But it was only terrible because the format of it was terrible. It just has to be against the framework. That's it, right? So have a few well-defined items to speak on. I prefer bullet style, right? These videos only need to be at the max 45, at the max 60 seconds. I'm saying 45 because that's what I feel. I'm saying 60 because the platform allows you to do it and allows you to do even further than that. But keep it short and concise because the rewatch value is more valuable to you as a business. It is. If you give a piece of information and it was so good and you gave it in 7 seconds, that's it. I'm big on business funding and things like that, right? I get those videos all the time. Man, 10 banks where they'll give you business funding for this and this and that. And I'm like, what? Huh? And then it goes on the screen and then it pops off and then it reruns again. And I have to watch it again and I'm trying to write it down or I'm taking a screenshot. All of those things Instagram can see. Instagram can see when you take a screenshot, right? They see that as important information, right? A confirmation of good information, if you will. So keep it under 45 seconds. Get a couple bullets, like 2 to 3 or 4, to keep it under that 45 seconds was where I was going with that. And then the call to actions. Use save this or share this. If they save or if they share, that is going to push your engagement higher. If this is a promotional piece of content for your business, then you can use, send me a DM or DM me the word this to get this. Or you can send, or you could say, hit the link in my bio, or you can use what's called a mini chat style call to action, which is you have to use an app for it. So you have to use something like mini chat or go high level. But that's where you see people say, comment the word reels to get this DM to you. And then after you comment it, it sends it to you automatically. That's something you could set up for yourself and just have that be a call to action as well. So if you're promoting, those are only big pieces that you want. You want them to DM you, you want them to go to your link, or you want them to just, again, comment so that you can DM them, right? Yeah. Everything else, you can say, other than saves and shares, you can also say comment, right? Comments work too. But if they share it or they save it, those are way higher conversions. They matter a lot higher. It shows higher intent to Instagram. It's major. So this is like my suggestion. If you want to hit the red button and start putting some content out and you don't have enough time to really sit there and record as much, try different variations of content, right? Maybe 8 stories a day. That's not that many, right? It seems like a lot, but you're just grabbing quick shots of things that you're doing throughout the day. The reels, 1 to 3 a week. If you can, try to get 3 and then scale up from there. Let's do 2 a days. Let's do 3 a days, right? We got to rotate and work that muscle out just like anything else. I can only be a master at it if I'm pushing myself to the limit of it. But starting off, man, get 1 a week. Like, when's the last time you posted anything? If you haven't been posting, doing 1 a week is love to the profile, is love to the algorithm. And it's going to reward you for that in views, comments, and possible business for you. Carousels, those are the multi-layer posts that you can swipe right on and get more pieces of the information. Image posts, 3 to 5 per week, just pictures of things that are happening, right? You can get help with the caption from ChatGPT and just put it straight underneath that picture and save yourself a little bit of time and still post it. Mm-hmm.
Is there certain times that's better to post than others?
Yes, definitely. I would say for your local area, most of the time it's between 10 to 2. That's usually prime time for people. But yeah, between 10 and 2, usually. Now, I would say go to your profile and look. You can also go to your profile, go into the professional dashboard, go up to the top, and then click, I think, accounts reached or accounts engaged, and then scroll all the way to the bottom. I think it's accounts engaged. And then you scroll all the way to the bottom. It'll have a graph that you can break it down by day. It shows you by day about, what your followers are doing, what days that they're hot, and then what hours of the day that they're hot. Because you'll be surprised. Sometimes you just have a bunch of people from Hong Kong that you're following is there. And so 3 o'clock in the morning is now your best time. Yes.
What about reposting content? Did you recommend better create our own content, like with collaborations and stuff, or repost somebody else's?
I would say both. Just post it. So another thing you could do, right? On TikTok they have duets, and then on Instagram they have the stitching, right, of the videos. Just grabbing somebody's piece of content, and then at the very end of it, you just talk about how you felt about that piece of content. That works. And that same thing you can do side by side. So instead of going at the end and just talking about what they just watched, you can just go side by side, and it's like you looking at the video and you're just pointing to it on the thumbs up or whatever. And again, it's giving them credit for one, and also sharing that information with your audience. And it's free to do that. It's free to have that good piece of content quick like that. So if you're not good at coming up with the ideas, just find what other people have done and share that with your audience, because it's still relevant. It shows that you have your fingers on a pulse or something.
What about if they're waxing? They're waxing with a knife and a fork to try something new because they stick. That's not sanitary. That's like what?
Yeah.
Inches, it cuts himself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's a good thing to review like bad stuff or just the good things?
Yeah, I think it helps to share bad stuff as well. Show people what not to do. Right? Like some things like that just sounds silly to me. Whatever you said just now, would you say a knife and a fork on somebody's face? Like that just sounds silly. So like I would just probably parody that one and just kind of make fun of it. Like, man, I don't even know what you were trying to do. Were you trying to eat your eyelashes or what's going on? I would just do this instead and just talk about what you would do instead, or the best way that you've seen success for this specific type of thing, and then guys aren't willing to do this at home and get it done this well, then just come to me or hit a DM and then set up something with me. And so it's kind of giving them different options on it. But yeah, what I was mentioning before is like the stitching. So you can either go side by side, look at them doing whatever and like kind of react to it, like flinch to it, or you can go and just talk about it after. Yep. Brent?
2 questions real quick. So when you said stitching, is that like the cutout you were talking about?
No, that's called cutout. So stitch is like actually, sorry, it's not called stitch. Remixing.
Oh, remixing.
Yeah, remixing on Instagram, right? And then they have where you can stitch it together, but the feature on Instagram is called remixing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So go on a video, find it, and then see if it allows you to remix this video.
Okay, that's like reposting.
Yes, exactly.
With your
That
spin
makes
on
it your original content because you're remixing it.
Exactly.
Signature on it.
And I think it's very tasteful, right? You're giving the original creator kudos. You're actually sharing their content as well with that audience as well. And you can shout them out. So it's kind of washing multiple hands right there, right? Like if you have people who are in Las Vegas in your industry that and they post good content all the time, and you're adjacent to them or you want to be adjacent to them, why not just share their content and just show love to them? Man, love the content that he made, love what he said in this. I would say I also think this and this and this on top of that too. And then I would have a really solid ironclad strategy for our clients. Yes, and they can collab with them. It's so perfect. This is like, it's right in front of you how easy it is to do that, right? And most people, I think that if somebody grabbed your video and then said that you did such an amazing job and added more to it out of the blue, you'd be like, damn, this person's fucking with me. They kind of like me. That's awesome. You know what I mean? That's how I would think. So definitely try it.
What is the carousel?
Oh, carousels, again, those are just those pictures that you can swipe sideways on. So if you go to Canva, just look up carousels, Instagram carousels, and they have a bunch of just quick templates. You can also look on Etsy and you look up carousel post packs, and they have those there. And I would try Canva though, because they'll have all the images in sequence. So what you can do is you can take an image and you can put it kind of like in between 2 frames. So it kind of bleeds over into the next image, makes a cool little effect. But that's more like a pro tip thing. But yeah, but just showing educational stuff like that you're an expert in that field. A lot of the carousels are really good for that because you can just put words on the screen and then keep moving them over.
And you
Right.
can use this single like piece of music for all of them.
Yes, exactly. So now that's a newer feature. So I'm glad you brought that up. They allow you to put the music over top of pictures and over top of carousels. So if you can put the ambiance now when people are looking through the pictures, it's nice. You know, have them listen to some nice Nickelback while you scroll through these pictures. You know, so it's very, very good for the audience. And then you can also use audios that are trending, right? And that'll help you out a lot as well. A way to find trending audios, if you click I think the personal dashboard, or excuse me, professional dashboard on your profile, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, there should be a new tab there that says trending audios, and you can click that and see which ones are trending, and then you can use that on the next reel.
Is that based off of your audience?
Yes.
Or it links to your audience to show what genres they prefer, what music?
Yeah, it's more linked to you,
Okay.
right? So it's linked to like what Instagram feels like your profile is based around, then it's giving you audios that are trending around that thing. And then, you know, some like worldwide trending things that are just trending overall, they're there as well. But I've seen, you know, my profile and then somebody else's, and the lists are different, right? So it's around what you have and what your audience is, what your industry is, what your keywords are. If you go to professional dashboard, yeah. Let me make sure I'm not leading you guys right, because maybe you tried it and didn't find it. So I don't know. Yeah.
If you choose creator on your profile as because it asks you what kind of professional status you are. If you choose creator, you'll be able to use more music. If not, you're limited to like a certain standard of music. You won't be able to search a lot of music.
Right. Yeah. Change your profile to a creator profile, especially if you're using audios. If you're using audios, creator profile. And that's the same thing. I think there's two ways to do it now. But if you hit the 3 lines on your profile on the top right, and then scroll down, you should be able to toggle it and switch from a business profile to a creator profile. And then you can do it on Pro Dashboard, I think, too, or in the edit profile button. There's a couple different ways to get to these things. They build redundancies in. Yeah. Yeah, I go through the settings like every week just because they add new buttons in there and stuff that you can just tweak. They have like recommendation settings. There's some small hacks and tips and tricks that I just think if you knew them, you know, you would use them, right? Sometimes people are just uploading and there's a toggle that says upload the highest quality possible. And every time you've been uploading, you're wondering why the video is not as crisp as well as on your camera. It's because you don't have that one thing toggled on. So it's compressing your video down to 720 instead of the full 1080 that they do on the profile, right? So that's different things. Go through the settings, click on everything, and just look and see what it is and try to understand what you have control over, because it gets pretty granular at that level. These are some tools for success in creating the content. So apps, softwares, and AIs. This is going with our social content masters process of scripting, filming, editing, and posting the content. So I would use something like ChatGPT to script the content. We have prompts for these. If you need those, come to me. I'll send those to you free, right? And you can just type it in, type in your industry, type in your audience or what you're trying to get done, and it'll spit you out a pretty good script and what you should be saying for the hook, the middle, and the end of that as well. One thing that you can also do, a pro tip on that, we have our hooks guide, the one that I mentioned before, 200 hooks. You can upload that into ChatGPT and it'll pick from that list and utilize that in order to make the script every time. So you have a perfect and proper hook every time. For the filming aspect of shooting the content, right? You have your camera, so you can use that. For Apple people, they have a new app that's from Apple called Final Cut Camera. So look that up. You probably don't have it downloaded to your phone, but if you search on the App Store, it's there and it's from Apple, and it gives you more access to the features on your camera now, right? Easier, more granular. That's what I want. I want control. I want control over everything. I'm a control freak, man. I want it. I need it. All right. And then for people who are on Android, most Androids have already a high level of control on the camera, so I wouldn't say to do too much on there. There's another app called Filmic Pro that you can use on Apple and Android. If you want even more access to your stuff, check out Filmic Pro. It does cost, but they have like a yearly subscription on there as well. Big View is a teleprompter app. Write your script, and then you can look up at the top and read it while you're talking. Super clutch. Man, they had this one for AppSumo lifetime deal, and I missed it. So it was like $50 one time for the lifetime, and I missed out on it. But still good pricing right now, so check that one out. Big View. So that's like a teleprompter app where you can record from there. And then Captions AI. So this is for adding the captions to your video. It allows some types of editing in there as well. And then shooting it. So it also has some of the teleprompter feature, and then it has some nice AI features like eye contact or AI eye contact. So it makes it look like you're looking at the screen, even if you're looking off the screen. It'll still make it look like you're looking at the screen. So that's really, really clutch. And just to get the captions up really quick, it has really good voice detection in order to see words you're saying, and then you can build and design the captions from there. And that's one app. Now with the editing process, CapCut is like the #1 phone editing app right now. I would definitely learn how to use it if you're not trying to learn how to be an expert at everything else, right? Getting CapCut. I also put a side of scripting on there because they have a tab at the bottom that says templates. And those are giving you already trending templates and things that you can just take clips and drop into it. And it'll already be fully finished, and you can just press it and post it. Easy. So that'll help you come up with ideas and all the other features for editing. Canva, if you don't know how to use Canva, learn how to use Canva. Go to YouTube and learn how to use it. You're going to need it. It's only getting better. They're only adding more AI features. Is the best now, one of the best, and the most accessible as far as learning how to use it. Go high level for posting. You can also use things like Hootsuite. You can also use things like Falcon.io or Sprout Social. And Meta Business Suite is free. So for Instagram and Facebook specifically, you can schedule all your stuff out already. You can schedule all your reels out and things like that. So grab that, and that'll take care of scripting, filming, editing, and then posting all your content. So it's a few different apps, but again, this is if you want to get good and granular. Now, you can also just do it in the app. It's not going to hurt anything either, right? If you're writing your content, you can open up the Instagram app, record, add some music on it, edit it in the app, and post it. You don't have to get as good with all these things, but this is if you're trying to make some really high-end stuff and get better at it, then might as well start learning and deciding which apps you want to use. I would just make my stuff here, shoot it on my phone, edit it here, and then just post it on the app. You just need those two, really. This is if you want all these other things. CapCut or CapCut and ChatGPT, I would say. Yeah. So ChatGPT for the ideas, and then CapCut for editing it. That's really it. Your camera's already there. You're going to be able to use it. You can already go straight to the platform and post it. But if you're trying to schedule stuff, then yeah, use one of these. All right. Any questions?
Quick question in regards to Big View, because I really need to take advantage of that, like carousels and Big View, like teleprompter, because I need to step my game up, like sincerely, and a lot of what I want to do is educational, right? So with Big View, can you talk a little bit more about like how that interface is between like pre and post, like editing process?
Yeah, so I can't really speak to the extra features that Big View has because it does have a nice, robust suite of extra things that you can do on the platform. But it's the idea that you can just write the text and then it'll block it out for you in a format that you can easily read. You can control the speed at which the teleprompter is moving. And I believe they have to where you can also just talk and it can recognize what you're saying and follow along with the script so that it just moves at a nice pace for you. Now, it is one of those things that you can download on multiple different softwares or devices. So then what I'll do is if I have like an iPad, that's even better, So you can record it, but then the iPad camera, right? But you can still use it for just the teleprompting.
So it's like if I'm doing a selfie, it'll show up the teleprompter right here as I'm recording, or I have to have a separate device?
Yeah, it'll show up there on the phone.
While I'm recording a selfie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And so you'll just be able to record directly from Big View. And it uses your camera. So then you can see the teleprompter all in it.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions so far?
When you record, you think it'd be best to have a phone or
The full camera thing?
yeah.
Yeah, I would say, full camera for the higher quality. But if you're just trying to learn how to get into it, then the phone, I would say, is like so good now that you don't really usually need a camera. Just, update to the newer phones like 13 plus or whatever, and then cut it on and shoot. And it's usually A1.
Keep trying to get it upgrade. But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, between a phone and a tablet, what you think would be best
To record,
for?
phone. hmm
There's a question online. Somebody on YouTube asks, "Can you please send me the slides?"
Yeah, I can definitely send slides if you can grab their contact from them.
Yeah.
That would be A1. Yes.
Gotcha.
As far as the IG imaging of your whole page, do you recommend having less content there? Because honestly, I have my first post there since like I don't know how long. Do you recommend like to trim that out? I tried to do that, but it's so time consuming. Do you have like an option or a suggestion?
You mean like getting rid of old posts and stuff
Yeah.
like that? I don't think you really need to, right? Because real fans of you, real supporters, real followers, whatever, they like to see the old versions of you and how you've progressed, right? And the elevation of the brand from when you first started to now, or from when you didn't have a brand to when you do now, But if you do have a bunch of posts that you just like, man, I want to forget this whole part of my life, you can go to Fiverr, and there's people on Fiverr that can do post archiving for like $5, $10. I think I've seen like, I think it was like $10 for like 1,000 posts archived or something crazy like that. I was like, dang.
Give them access to your account.
Yeah, you do have to give them access to it.
I have a quick question about that. Go ahead, sorry. It's kind of about like getting a virtual assistant or that kind of thing, outsourcing. So I don't want to take it completely off, but basically it's like, how do you like have the trust to get somebody in the Philippines or whatever access to have them as a virtual employee, especially like for myself, like I work in insurance, so like if I wanted to give them access to customer service for my clients, it's like sensitive data, and it was like that's been, I think, something that's been holding me back from doing that. But it's like, how do you trust that, giving them access to your Instagram or whatever?
I'll just work with them for a while and kind of see where they're coming from. Look at their background, see if there's reviews, where the reviews are coming from as well. But do your research, right? I'm only going to people who have the top reviews for one, right? I'm looking to see if they have a portfolio for two. If you got 3 reviews, then that's you, your mama and your daddy to me. So I'm not I'm not going with that, And then with everything else on your platform, it's like for one, the Meta Verified, right? That $14.99, that also comes with an account executive that you have access to. So you can actually chat one-on-one with somebody on the platform now, and they can actually help you find things out and fix things. So if you have that Meta Verified, at the end of the day, you're verifying with your ID. You're verifying that you're this person. They can't verify that, you know what I mean? So you're always going to have access to somebody to reverse anything or get unhacked, if you will, right? So Meta Verified. And that's like $14.99 for Instagram, and then $14.99 for Facebook. But I think you could bundle it together for like $25 or something like that. So that's what I would do. And then for other things like client data, look at your CRM and see if you have an ability to add different permissions and cut people certain information, right? So I use Go High Level, and we're able to give people only access to certain people and only certain information. So I assign it to you if I want you to work with them, and we have a process around working with that stuff, and then we have them access it through a portal that we have here. And they're always just using the portal, right? You have no other access to this stuff. So we can see everything that you're doing. But I also would find a way to internalize that last portion, right? When it comes to very sensitive data, like that last 5% that might be very sensitive, you might not want a virtual assistant to do that. Try to find somebody here that's like you can train and that and that has ramifications if they mess around. You know what I mean?
It's a virtual assistant that you've been working with for for a year, a few years.
for
then.
years, yeah, that you're used to working with. You can create those type of relationships, but when you're first starting off, like, man, just go with the best of the best, just like anything else. You know, no problem. Any other questions?
I had a question. It was about the archiving the Instagram.
Yeah.
So I've seen like a few of my like ideal followers that I like to watch, and I noticed that they delete all of their stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
It's just a
Copy them if you want to copy them, but I like what he said about, because if they're your true fans, they want to see your transformation.
yeah.
But I think my opinion is some of those people, they, like you said earlier in today's talk, perception is reality, right? So if you don't want them to see that, you're only you get one shot at a first impression, and you only want them to see the best, the diamond, shining,
And then on top of that too, it's like I've never looked at a profile that had one post and I was like, damn, they're so cool because they got one post. Like I'm always like, damn, deleted everything, whatever, and I click off of it because I'm like, you're not showing me anything, right? That's how you've probably felt too. It's like, okay, that's
Especially the
cool.
old stuff, like going back looking at or like reading things and then it's deleted. I'm like, I guess it's like, can I really even trust you? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like no accountability with that, and I feel like people are just trying to show, like I don't have that many posts, but I still have this many followers. And I'm like, if that's all you're trying to prove, that's also not relevant to me. That doesn't matter to me at all. Yes, Tom?
I have a caption that I read all the time on some of my favorite posts, and it says, "Oh, thank you. Here's information about the Mercedes-Benz GLS." It has nothing to do with what's going on in the video. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
What's the reason for that?
It's just a tactic. Like it's a law of law of averages kind of thing, right? Like it could be clickbait, but then sometimes people are actually selling something, right? It could be an actual car salesman and he's just putting car that he has, and if you're looking for that car.
Yeah, so it's
Oh, he's
that
talking about.
you just watch, you read it, you get curious, you're like, why the fuck are they talking about cars? You read the whole thing while the video plays over and over back.
Because I've seen the same caption
Yes.
in many different videos, so you know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
It's the same copy and paste.
It's just to get you to get the video to play a few times like that.
Yeah, the more like replays that you have. Yeah, so that's more the viral hacking kind of stuff, right? Taking things that are already trending and just using those real quick. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that, and it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I think it's nice to hop on something and use.
Like, can you like take whatever's like hot at the moment
Super random
and
Yeah.
like input that keyword in their posts? They may not be talking about anything that has to do with it. It's just the fact that that's the happening thing right now.
Right.
More than likely, it's going to get whatever person is watching that video to spend the necessary time watching the video, even though they may have been looking for that item, but
Right.
the video has nothing to do with that. But that it got them to click on your video, and maybe
And they also have
they
you're
found you and
interested
they
in those
got
tags.
long enough through your
Right.
video to do whatever you're selling or whatever you're offering.
They also have like very viral ones that you can hop into and just like things that are very shocking for people to see, and then just hop into them. We've all kind of seen them now, like the people who had the lady on the stretcher or whatever it was, and then the whole stretcher fell over, and then that person rolled over, and then now it's a burrito or something like this, and they just kind of like put it together. So the person rolls over and it rolls into a burrito, and there's somebody cooking a burrito on the grill, right? Those kind of transition videos, those are like punching right now. Yeah, you know what I mean?
What about
Yeah.
these? Who brought these today?
Dave.
I don't know, Dave Berlin.
Oh, that's a sign.
Or like another one, like the original time that I saw a video like that, it was the little person that was running down off the dock, and then he jumped into the water, and then they caught like whatever in the little pan. You know what I mean? That one is just like, oh, that was super funny. It was wrong, but it's super funny. Like you can't help but to just watch it a couple times, right? Those are those types of videos where that transition is just something funny, but you can do that with anything, right? And if you find other videos like that, think in those terms and see if you can kind of put those pieces together as well. Some more things that I have too for you guys are some of our guides. This is the same bio prompt from before, if you didn't get that one. This is our learning center just for social media content. So we post even more, guides in there. We're starting to post videos in there, social media prompts, the best tips and tricks, and just any hacks that we can find. We're putting them in there. And then these two are the guides. So over 200 hooks, and then the secret sauce guide. The secret sauce guide is just showing you how to make reels, from the equipment and the setup to the pillars to how to find the content, all that kind of stuff. It's all in one document that we have as well. That's just like an ebook, easy to read, and you can check it out on the phone from here as well.
And if we signed up to the other thing earlier, will you send us this, or we have to QR code this to get access to these?
I would, if you want access to most of this, I would just do this one.
No.
That second one, yeah, because the Learning Center already has these guides in it. This is just if you want an individual one that was just like, I need this one. But that second QR is going to be the one that just gives you access to everything, including the prompts and all that kind of stuff.
That's gonna be part of what you're seeing.
Yeah. I'm gonna have that, and then I'm also have these slides in there as well, so people can go back through those. Mm-hmm. Any other questions for me, guys?
Thank you.
Heck yeah. This is my QR code. It takes you to my link tree, all my endeavors and stuff like that too, if y'all need that.
Thank you so much, Reese.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you guys, yo.
Oh wait, one last question. When are you coming back here?
I'm doing another one next week. So I'm actually in the middle of a 5-weeker. I'm coming in. I did setting up your social media profile to win for business. Then I did Facebook lead generation for free. So like Facebook groups and hacking Facebook groups, stuff like that. This one was Instagram. I have 2 more. Already did those ones, yeah.
All the recordings are available on YouTube, and it's
Yeah.
going to be in the learning center once we're done.
Exactly.
As a whole class.
And then I'm trying to see which one I'm gonna do on this next go around. I'm thinking possibly LinkedIn. I'm thinking possibly Google. One of those. Yeah, LinkedIn is just weird. It's a cool space. You know.
I got 1 sale.
Yeah, it's like everybody putting on suits and pretending to be somebody and walking around. Walking around.
You don't have anybody on LinkedIn.
Yeah, those are like high ticket sales and stuff as well. Do y'all mind if I go around and ask kind of what everybody does and background, things like that?
No.
All right, I'll go this way. Life coach, okay. And for you?
Networker, retired. Postal worker, retired.
Sweet, awesome.
Life coach and wardrobe expert.
Life coach works right. Okay. In the back.
What's up, man? Moving company.
Moving company. All right.
I am a caterer and private chef.
Okay. Awesome. No, a lot.
Servants.
It's a community service.
Wait, what did he say? Kegger and private sector?
Yeah.
Oh,
Caterer,
I heard
private
Kegger. I was
chef.
like, he could get a party, but with cater, you could get the party going too. I do